All right, so you guys can go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Tanisha. So welcome, folks, to another wonderful edition of Father and Finance. I am one of your wonderful hosts, Trevor Evans, along with Marcus Hunt and Mr. Isaac Crumley. How you guys doing?
Hey, I'm great, man. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir. So I want to apologize for missing last week's show. I had something that ran over. But I heard great things about last week's show. So I definitely want to hear what went on last week, what I missed, because I want to drop some more gems this week. But I heard the last week was pretty good. I thought her was very good. So, Sir Isaac, if you don't mind recapping last week, and we'll get it going into this week's show.
Yes, sir. So yeah, and I won't take too long, man. It was a really good show. We were talking about building the financial house and setting a foundation. And we also kind of went in, I know Patrick, he's not on today, but Patrick brought up a point about investing in yourself. We were talking about that foundation and the top tier being the investing. And one of the key points was investing in yourself. Certainly, we want to invest in as far as our foundational chart, the protection, and then the debt management, and then the emergency fund, and then of course the top part being the actual investments itself. But one of the key points was you got to study, you got to be prepared to have this financial foundation. So you got to be able to, you got to find out, you got to know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. And so the best way to find out what you don't know is hang around people that you do know. Hang around people that do know what they're talking about, that do have some financial education, that do have some financial wisdom, and that they want to share it with you. And that's kind of what we're doing here. And we had a lot of participation going back and forth. It was a really good show. A lot of people really Trevor, they didn't understand that, to set up the proper foundation, you really need protection first. That was brand new for a lot of people. I know it was for me. Because if something happened to me, my wife is going to need to be able to go on and continue on with our legacy that we're trying to build. And even if I don't die, if something happens like with a critical illness where somebody has to take care of me, you got to be prepared for that, because your job as a provider does not stop. So we had a really good conversation, and I think that's the type of thing that we want to continue sharing in our community.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree. And for those of you that are new to our show, we put this show on to mostly educate people about opportunities that are available to them in vehicles that are probably overlooked. And one of my mentors, I have a lot of great mentors in my life, and one of them has always said to me, the highest form of ignorance is to ignore anything that you think you know about. And that's very true, because this wealth system and this investment opportunity is hidden in a vehicle that most people either assume they don't need, okay, or don't know anything about it, right? And whenever you hear about life insurance, people automatically they think about, oh yeah, it's for when I die and for my family to get some money when I die. And yes, if you're getting term insurance, yes, but the wealthy understand this. The reason why a IUL, and for those of you that don't know, IUL stands for Index Universal Life. And the reason why the IUL is placed in the insurance world is because it's the only way to capture the four major components of investing and also wealth creation, which is protection, security, maximize growth, and tax advantages, right? So it's placed in a vehicle where most people say, you know what, I got that figured out, I don't need no insurance, and then they pass it over, they overlook it. But they don't understand that life insurance, the wealthy, the way the IUL is set up for you to utilize, not just when you pass away, your family, okay? It's to be utilized when you're alive, because what better use of a policy if you have access to it and use of it while you're alive. And that's the beauty of the IUL. And it can be a lot of different things. And one thing it is also is an investment, all right? And in anything, okay, everyone knows an investment is supposed to yield a return, and that's great, okay? But that return can be a negative one or a positive one, right? So what I say is, you know, it shouldn't just yield a return. It should yield value, okay? Value. And so you want to ask yourself, what is my vehicle, whether it's a whole life, whether it's a term, IUL, whatever. What am I doing? Is it giving me value? And what kind of value is it giving me? And the IUL, it outperforms most because of the value that it provides, because of the access that people have to it while they're alive, okay? I mean, if you just get regular term insurance, you know, the value is what? You pass away, they get some money, right? Yes, but what about when you're alive? What can you do during that time frame? And I've spoken to a lot of people that make a lot of money in many different ways, okay? And the most important thing they look for in their investment is value. So I want to point out some of the values that IUL has that most people may not be aware of. And one of the first values is the cash value, okay? The cash value is indexed and it's never at risk, okay? What does that mean, all right? How's my money never at risk? It's very, very simple. It's wrapped up in an insurance policy, okay? Insurance policies have different rules than a bank account has, your stock market. So with it being placed in an insurance policy, it does shield it from a lot of ways that your money is attacked. And I shared with you guys 2 weeks ago that law that came out back in 2014, okay, which basically says that when you give your money to a bank, when you give your money to a 401k company or any institution, that money now becomes theirs. And they can tell you when to come get it and how much to come get. Well, that's not happening in the IUL. You have full control of that money, full control of that policy, and the law that affects your money now in the bank does not affect the IUL. So that's the number one thing right there, is that it's protected and it's never at risk. So and the cash value it earns is a guaranteed return. Okay, and even that is compounded. So the number one thing about an IUL is that, one, your money is not at risk, because you look at anywhere else. Okay, I have a good friend that's on a call now, Larry, and dude makes a lot of money. Okay, and he'll tell you he's won some, he's lost some. Okay, there's risk involved in that. Okay, but in an IUL, there's not that risk. The risk is non-existent outside of you paying for the cost of insurance. So that's a number one. So that by itself is value, okay? So if my money is not at risk, that's great value.
So, hey, Trevor, I want to bring up an excellent point, brother. One of the things I wanted to bring up about that, all of us know O.J. Simpson. And O.J. Simpson had his money. Now, don't get me wrong, he lost a lot during that civil suit. But one of the things he was able to do was put a large portion of his money in an IUL. And that could not be touched because it's wrapped up, as you said, in an insurance policy. So to this very day, he's been living off of his IULs. It's not taxed because it was taken out with pre-tax money. So he's doing what he's got to do.
Post-tax money.
Post-tax money. Did I say before? I should have said post. I apologize. But you know what I meant. So post-tax money. So he's taking that money out, and it's protected. And then there are a few other people that have the same thing. You know, I always wondered, after learning about the IUL, I always wondered why people still want to put stuff in offshore accounts when you can get this thing protected right now and not have any taxes, you know, taken out of it. I mean, because it's, again, post-tax dollars, and it grows. It grows, you know what I'm saying? So excellent point, my brother. I just wanted to bring that up for people that that might not have any understanding of that. You know, I want to give them a real-time example of it. O.J. Simpson is living off of his IUL because any regular money he earns goes to Nicole Brown Simpson's family and Ron Goldman's family.
Right, and I do believe, I think OJ actually had a VUL, I think, but don't quote me on that. But same concept, same thing, same vehicle, just different options. But yes, and don't think for a second that his people that were in charge of his money and his court cases didn't understand that. They understood that because they did move a lot of funds from wherever it's at into that IUL, okay, because it's untouchable. I mean, it's even to a point where it's dependent on how it's set up. I mean, you can go through a divorce, okay, and it cannot be touched. So it is literally the one place where your money is protected and not at risk of being taken or turned over or whatnot. So the non-risk factor is great, you know. And another benefit of the IUL, of course, you know, is being able to borrow from that cash value. Now, another great advantage to an IUL is this. Most people know about a whole life policy, and they get a whole life policy, and they're good, and they earn a cash value, and they borrow from that cash value as well. However, in most whole life policies, the premium that you pay into that policy, that's their money. Okay, you ain't getting that. All you're going to get back is the earnings you get, okay, off your rate. In an IUL, okay, there's a law called, or it's a rule called FIFO, right? First in, first out, okay? And that affects the IUL, which means this: if you contribute 100 grand in contributions or in premium to your IUL, and you have $80,000 in your cash value savings, and you want to pull out, you know, 40,000. You have a choice of either pulling out your contribution of what you pay in your premium, or you can borrow from the cash value. Okay. Now they want you to take your money first. All right. But if you choose not to, okay, you can borrow it. So you tell me, where else, what other insurance policy can you get where your premiums that you pay in, you can also use at a tax-free rate? A tax-free, you know, advantage, all right? So the IUL is just stomping over everything else because of the access and the options and the advantages that people have in their policy. To me, okay, I don't look at it as an insurance policy, okay? The only time it's an insurance policy is when that policy owner dies, okay? Other than that, to me, okay, it is your own personal bank, right, wrapped up in the protection and security of an insurance policy. And if you don't understand that, holler at me, okay? All right, I'm the king when it comes to money, all right? So what does that mean? Also, when you borrow from the IUL, you're borrowing it at a rate of 0.75%, okay? Now, think about this. You tell me, put it in the chat, okay? Put it in the chat box. You tell me any bank in the world that will allow you to borrow money at less than 1% in 5 minutes without any qualifying.
SBA loans, but that's a different story.
Larry, thank you, Larry, my man Larry on the call. He's always my devil's advocate. You know, I love having him there with me, but Larry knows what time it is.
I'm a big fan of Trevor's, in case you guys didn't know, right? So here's the deal. I just popped in because I saw he had posted something about this, and I'm like, yeah, whenever Trevor's on, I want to listen to what he has to say. So I'm going to tell you guys that I have no vested interest from whatsoever in what Trevor's doing. I don't even know exactly what he's doing. I do know that I'm a big believer in whole life insurance and IULs. In fact, I'm going to tell you guys something that will totally. I don't even know who's on this call. I just like. And
everybody
again,
on the call. Everybody.
Are these people who are like, you know, who are possible clients? I mean, that's what I don't know exactly what this is about. So my apologies to everyone. But I'm going to tell you how much I believe in whole life insurance and how it's the greatest vehicle. You know, it's the same thing, IUL or whole life insurance. I actually have a website. If you go to ibuyWholelife.com. So all the people who are like, they have these whole life insurance policies and they can't afford them anymore, I buy them. So take a minute and think about that. I just had to, justify what you're talking about by saying that would make absolutely no sense to anyone else, but it makes total sense to me. And here's the deal, right? So they have, like, let's say they have $10,000 cash value in their life insurance policy. They could cash it in because they can't afford to pay for it anymore. I'll give them $11,000 for that policy. You want to explain why, Trevor? Or you want me to explain why?
I know why, but I don't think.
I know you know why. I just want to know if you want to explain it or if you want me to explain it.
I know why. I know why, but I don't think they'll understand why. But yeah, you're a nice radical, person. But yes, there's lots of things that you could do with this IUL or a whole life policy that people can't buy, because yes, it is a promise to pay. Okay, and it can be bought. But that's on a different spectrum as far as if they even get to that point.
Oh no, it just goes on with everything you just said.
Yeah,
it's a great investment.
Yeah.
It's a great place to hide money. It's a great place for tax deferred money. I mean, I even teach in my school. About my school. I even teach in my school.
There's nothing. I wouldn't say you're hiding anything, because it's
hiding money. No. When I say hiding money,
everybody knows it's there.
No. But you hide it from bankruptcy. You hide it from creditors. If they come after you.
True.
That's what I mean by hiding money.
Yeah, there you go. Be specific. Be specific. Yeah. Hide it from the bad guys. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the good guys.
I know I still owe you like 20 grand, right, Trevor? And you still can't take it for my whole life insurance policy.
Oh yeah, I want my money too. Yeah, I want it too.
I'll let you get back to what you were doing. If you want any more edification, just let me know, man. All right.
Just give me my money. You good, Larry? So, all right, so back on track, man. So yes, the advantage of IUL is far-reaching than what you can conceive, and get with someone that understands these concepts. Myself, Marcus, Isaac, Edward, and we got you. So, what else, Isaac?
Trying to unmute myself here. I apologize. I was all over the place. No, so while he was talking about that, I certainly want to, not just whole life. I just kind of want to reemphasize for the newbies, just cash value insurance. Where you can, just for the newbies, however you want to term it. We certainly want to, use that term, so that when you can earn some money like that, and like both of you guys have said, hide it from creditors. Not that you want to do that, but anyway, anything that you want to do. As a matter of fact, I have a very good friend. I learned about this IUL maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. And the way I learned about it was a friend of mine needed to send his daughter to a camp, some type of, she won some trip to a cheerleading camp, and he needed $3,500. And just like you said, if you needed $3,500, you can't go to a bank and just get that without some sort of qualifying or what have you. And my friend said, man, I forgot I got this IUL. I could just pull it out of here. Lo and behold, he was his own bank, and sent his daughter there and had it. I've also got other friends, as you know, Trevor, you met one of them, brother Tazim, former NFL player. When his children were babies, he opened up a bunch of IULs for his children. Right now, they are financially set. They graduated from college. They're financially set. He bought houses for them, cars. They literally have started their entire life free of debt, free with a house, with everything that they need. His daughter actually started a business, bought a house and started a business. So, I mean, these are very, very powerful tools. I think it's very beautiful. I mean, I need to do what Larry's doing and find a way to buy from other people as well, so that I can get some return on investment like that. So this is an extremely powerful tool that the rich use, that we typically as Black people we just don't know about a lot. And so we got to spend some time.
Wait a minute, I didn't know about it as a white person until somebody explained it to me too. All right. Listen, I wasn't saying. Listen, Larry.
Way more white people know about this than Black.
Trevor's going to make sure I'm never on this call again. I get it. But
Larry,
besides that,
you can come on, Larry. You can come on, Larry. Nobody's tripping, Larry. Come on.
I'm going to tell you, America is so full of financial illiteracy that it doesn't matter what color, what race you are, what you are. That's the biggest problem. That's why I like this guy, Trevor, because he's out there teaching financial literacy, and it has nothing. And he's totally colorblind, and I'm totally colorblind, and he and I both know it. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
No problem.
No problem, Larry.
As Isaac said, these IU, like during the quarantine, okay, lots of phone calls were made to people that had these policies that may have forgotten they had them. And when they got let go from their job, laid off or furloughed or whatnot, and they needed money, you know, lots of phone calls are made to people that say, hey, you got 100 grand in your cumulative premium, you got 8,000 in your cash value. If you want to borrow from your cash value or take any premium, you can. And some people, they forgot they had these policies because they view them as a life insurance policy where I just pay the money each month and just forget about it. And it's fine, but it's a vehicle that is meant to be utilized while you are alive, okay? Because if you're getting that compound return, okay, annually, all right, you get a lot of money that you're making each year in that policy, so use it, especially if you have a child that is coming on age to drive and needs a car, you know, prom, you know, senior trip, whatever. Kids are expensive, all right? And imagine if you open up an IUL when they were 10 years old, 5 years old, and now they're 15, 16, 18, need a car, right? That money can come from that IUL very, very, very simple and very, very, very easy. So the advantages of an IUL are tremendous. And one of the major ones is the ability to pass on your wealth to your loved ones, okay? Because so many of the wealthy, that's exactly what they do. They place their money in these IULs, and when they pass on, that money gets transferred to their heirs tax-free, and that wealth is now transferred on and leave a legacy that way. And that's what everyone wants to do, is I want to leave something to somebody, okay, that I love and who loves me, all right? And if you don't have nobody that you love, right, that you want to leave the money to, then hey, call up somebody like Larry and they'll buy your note from you. They'll buy your face value, okay? Larry's the equivalent of that commercial, you know, it's my money, I want it now, okay? That's what he does, okay? He buys notes. He buys promises to sell or to pay. So yes, an insurance policy can be sold, okay? If you don't want to leave the money to anyone or don't have money to leave it to, then sell it. But the advantage of this is far-reaching, way more than what people understand. And I want to hear more from Patrick or Marcus. What I got to say about this, fellas? Either one, Patrick or Marcus.
The IUL is just amazing. I don't. First and foremost, I can't see how people forget they have such a product like this. I mean, how do you forget? Like when people forgetting, I feel like they just truly don't understand what they have. Because I really don't see how you forget about something like this. But
I think that's a good point.
Yeah,
Marcus.
yeah.
They don't understand what they have.
Right. So it's but yeah, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. You know what I mean? Definitely.
So Marcus, let me ask you, okay?
Yes, sir.
What would you tell your client, all right, because of IUL, what would you tell them so that they don't forget they have it?
What would I tell them so they don't forget?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, it's just really, it will be a group of things that I would tell them. It's basically just explaining what it is. By the time I finish explaining to them what it is, ain't no way they're gonna forget. There's no way. So it's just a combined thing. It's not one thing that I could say to make them like, oh, I gotta always remember this. I feel like it will be the complete explanation of the amazing IUL, period.
I keep it very, very simple, Marcus. I say, understand this. You have a vehicle that's earning you 9 to 12% a year compound interest, okay? It's growing tax-free, all right? And if you want to withdraw from any side of your policy, it's also withdrawal tax-free, all right? And most people don't forget tax-free and compound growth.
True.
Right? And when you're getting that in your policies, that's a great reminder of what you got, because it's fun to watch it grow when you know it's growing compoundedly, okay? And it's fun to watch it grow, and it's fun to leave there when you know you can take it out tax-free at any time. Okay.
Trevor, though sometimes people they don't understand. You know, you got to talk to them in baby language. You know, when you start talking about compound interest, you know, a lot of people are scared of that. I mean, even though it's a simple term, we understand what it is. But when you start talking about, as Larry mentioned about the financial illiteracy around here, I mean, people start talking about compound interest. Oh, we just talking about money. I'm scared. I mean, I could run half my family off when I started talking about that type of stuff. But what you said, there is something simple that I think you can draw people in with, and that's saying be your own bank. I think that's a very simple thing for people that are scared of the money terms and things of that nature. Just say, hey man, would you like to be your own bank? Yeah, man, if you save money, I gotta wait for you to kind of, you know, you gotta sometimes use slang, but we can flip it, you can stack it, whatever term you want to use, but bring your own bank and we can get way more interest on this than you would at a bank. I mean, what are the rate the banks offer now? 0.01% or 0.1% or something stupid. I mean, why even save your money in a bank? I mean, it don't even make any sense.
My mom was just telling me, I forgot what bank. Don't ask me which bank, because I forgot. But she told me how she had I'm not sure how much money in the CD. She said after a year she had $2 and some change added. Like, what? That's crazy.
Yes, I think one of the biggest things okay, people always say that ignorance is our biggest enemy. I don't agree with that. Okay, I think apathy is. All right, apathy is, because that's worse. Because apathy means you know something, but you choose not to do anything.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And when you're taught to put your money in a 401k, what is a 401k? A 401k is a tax deferred strategy. Okay, and most people don't know the actual term for 401k. The actual legal term is called IRC, Internal Revenue Code 401k. Okay, a 401k is a tax code. All right, and anyone knows anything that's a tax code is not good for who? Americans. All right, and so they're pushing these vehicles as the end all be all, but don't understand that these vehicles, especially 401k. I mean, whenever I talk to anyone about a 401k, I tend to use logic. Okay. And I always say, you know, what makes more sense logically, all right, to pay taxes on the seed of something or on the harvest of that seed, right? And everyone always said the seed is the best route, okay? And I say yes, because here's what the government is saying. If you say, government, I want to forego paying this $10 I owe on this $100. I'm gonna forego that tax of $10 to pay on a bigger amount, right? Way in the future at a higher tax rate. Okay, that's illogical, and that's exactly what a 401k
when you need it most.
is.
Higher tax when you need it most, when you retire.
Exactly. So you tell me, what sense does a 401k make? All right, it doesn't make any sense logically. All right, because one, you're paying taxes on the harvest of that money, okay, at a higher tax rate. All right, and people don't understand this as well. Once you give your money over into a 401k company, okay, they now possess that money. Okay, now in order for you to get that money back, you're going to pay a tax, all right? And it's a 10% tax, okay? So the tax that you're paying up front to take your money out early of 401k, it isn't an early withdrawal tax, okay? It's a possession tax, because what happens when money changes hands, okay, a taxable event is created, all right? So when you give it to your 401k company, they have rules that are on their side, okay, that prevents them from being taxed for taking the money, all right? But you as an individual, okay, you now give up your money and gave it to that 401k company, okay? You just gave up possession of that money, all right? If you want that money back, the possession of that money back, Uncle Sam says, great, you have it back, but guess what? Pay a tax on it, okay? So imagine this. you're going to pay a 10% possession tax on your money just to take it back. Okay. And then you're taxed at your individual tax rate for what you possess. And most people fall in the 30s, right? So my math says this: if I'm paying 35% on my money for what I owe in taxes, plus a 10% tax up front to possess it, right? That's almost a 50% tax hit on my money.
I got to tell you, Trevor, I after we spoke the other day, I did my research into it, and you're absolutely correct. And I can tell y'all, I'm contributing 6% of my salary into my 401k, and my company matches at 100%. Once I did some research, I'm thinking about pulling out the money because they are because of this whole COVID thing, they're eliminating that 10%. So I said, let me yank that money out to eliminate that. But then I realized, if that wasn't the case and I was going to get hit with that 10% plus the 30-something% that they tax me at, all that money that the company, put towards my 401k is automatically wiped out. So the only money that was there the entire time was my money. Now, I don't want to sit here until I'm 60-something years old waiting to pull my money out. If I want to get my money now, I want my money. But I'm not going to get my money and the money the company puts. I'm just going to get my money.
Right.
I'm saying the money was there. I was pretty much, the money was just there wasting time. And needless to say, you know what I'm doing.
And they took your money and they used it, right? And people don't understand this. Whether it's a 401k, a mutual fund, okay, your money is just not sitting there, okay? It's being used, it's being transferred, there are things that are happening to your money, okay, that create a taxable event. And guess who's eating that taxable event? You are, okay? In a mutual fund, all right, if somebody leaves the fund or joins the fund, guess what's created? A taxable event. Who fits that bill? You do, okay? You do, right? If the fund manager decides to handle the fund differently, okay, that changes the taxable event, who eats that up? You guys do. So there are lots of things going on in your 401ks, your mutual funds that you don't even know about tax-wise, and you're eating that bill, okay? But they glamorize it and make it look all sexy and say, hey, it's the right thing to do. No, it's not. Okay, now I can't tell you what to do with your money, especially with a 401k. I'm not going to lose my license. But
hey Trevor,
hey, I can, Trevor. I don't have a license, so if you want me to tell you what he can do with it, I'll tell him what he can do with it.
I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to take it up.
But where are you going to put it? Wait, I got an idea for you that'll blow your freaking mind. Right? This is, and again, I have no vested interest in this whatsoever. Just so you guys understand, I just came. I don't even know any of you. I just know Trevor, and I'm a big fan of Trevor's. Actually, I know Love too. I saw she was on here. But anyway, real quick, this is what I'm going to tell you to do. You ready? You're going to take your money out of your 401k plan. By the way, every single one of you who has a 401k plan, take it out before the end of the year. There's no penalty, and if you want to, you will have to pay taxes on it unless you move it into an IRA. So you can move it into an IRA if you want to, but I got a better idea. And I'm telling you, this is great. I'm assuming, and again, I don't even know what Trevor's selling, but I'm assuming you can overfund the life insurance policies that you're selling. Is that true, Trevor?
If you do it right, but I'm not selling anything.
Okay. Oh, no, wait. Listen, hear this out. You ready? So you're going to overfund a life insurance policy. Let's say, and I'm going to give you, I don't know what the numbers are, but let's say you take $10,000 out of your 401k and you overfund the life insurance with the $10,000. So you paid your first year premium. Now you have available to you approximately $6,000. Again, I don't know the exact numbers. You ready? You don't want to know what you're going to do with the $6,000?
Pay the taxes.
No, you're going to open an IRA. You're going to open an IRA. Now, what you did was you took taxable money, you made it tax-free growth inside your life insurance. You're going to borrow the $6,000 out of the life insurance and have a tax deduction. If that didn't make your head explode, I don't know what will. Even look at Trevor's face going, oh man, I never thought of that.
Can you say that again?
That's what I was about to say. Say that one more time.
All right,
Exactly.
It don't matter where the money comes from, but in this case, you guys have the advantage of taking it out of your 401k. So you can take it out anywhere. I don't care if you take it out of the bank, but you take 10, whatever. And again, I don't know what the numbers will be, but again, take $10,000 is just the example. overfund your life insurance policy. So let's say, you're overfunding your life insurance policy by approximately $6,000. And sure, what's that?
No,
Then you
continue.
immediately borrow the $6,000 back out of the policy. Now you do realize that, they're going to give you 4% and you're going to pay 5%, which is where he's coming up with that 1% number. But it doesn't matter because it ends up costing you less money than that anyway. I could do that math, but that's so crazy. But anyway, the idea is now you borrow the $6,000 out of your life insurance policy and you put it into an IRA. The IRA becomes tax deductible. So now you are not paying taxes on the money that's growing inside the policy, and you're not paying taxes on the money that came out of the policy, and you're getting a tax deduction on top of it.
Now here's here's why I'm letting Larry talk, okay? Because obviously Larry, he had to learn from somewhere, right, Larry?
I
Right?
hate paying taxes. I'm going to make it real simple. I hate paying taxes.
Okay, so I'm letting Larry talk because Larry, saw me a few years ago, and I schooled him. Okay, I schooled him. All right. And,
you schooled me? You did
did
school me. You did school me on. I will tell you, you schooled me on credit cards. That was a good one. That was a real good one.
So yes, it's these policies, these IULs have tremendous advantages that most people don't understand that they can do unless they have a savvy person on their side. And Patrick, I didn't mean to forget you, my friend. I didn't mean to forget you, sir. So is there anything you want to share, sir? What we got this time left on us?
Yes. So as far as answering your question earlier, I put a life insurance IUL policy on my 1-year-old daughter because I understand about compound interest. Once I came to the campaign and understand what this vehicle does, I said, I'm putting it on myself. I'm putting it on my daughter. I'm gonna overfund my daughter's because hers is at a lower payment. It's at $47. So I'm gonna just flood money into it. Definitely gonna increase mine as my income rises. I'm gonna increase mine the same way. So, I mean, if you have a brain in your head, like, I mean, not saying that you're dumb if you can't qualify for it, but I mean, if you look at the facts of what this vehicle does and you understand what it does, not just on the money side, but think about the life insurance part of it too, the living benefits that you get with it. It's like, why would you not do it? It's not why would you do it? Why would you not? That's the real question. Why wouldn't you do it? So unless you can't qualify. But at the same time, you always can change up the way you live and qualify. So
Those
that's
living
my
benefits.
piece on.
Go ahead, Edwin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead, guys.
No, Pat, man, that's incredible that you're doing that for your kids. Me, as not being a father yet, at least I have the knowledge to know that that's exactly what I'm going to do. As soon as my baby is 15 days old, I'm going to call my trainer and be like, hey, let's get this done. Right?
Yes.
But I want to touch on something that Trevor talked about with the 401ks, because yes, they have a lot of tax implications that many people just don't seem to be aware of for whatever reason. But aside from the tax implications, they're also charging you management fees. Okay, so they charge you management fees for your 401k. So you're automatically losing money on management fees. And then they're not even really telling you where they're managing to put your money at. They're just doing stuff with it. So if you're not paying attention, they charge you management fees when really you could actually reduce those fees by managing your own 401k properly, right? So even if you do decide to keep one, you should get with somebody that should tell you exactly how to reallocate what's in your 401k and save your money on management fees as well. Okay, because like Trevor said it perfectly. Your money does not just sit there. Okay,
Nope.
There's somebody that's getting paid to manage your money for you, and it's not even really being managed well, if you're just asking my opinion. Okay, so you should take it upon yourself to not be a passive employee and be, like it says in our blue book, don't be a passive employee, and get with somebody and know how to reallocate that if you don't take it out altogether, while you still have the option to forego the penalty, right, during this current time. Right, so that's just something I did want to touch on before y'all completely left the subject. Yeah, so it's a lot to be that goes on with your money that you should definitely be more aware of.
There are so many fees that are associated with the 401k, I'm gonna go over a few of the fees, you know, that some of you don't even know even exist. Some of them are called Class A, some of them are called Class B, okay? There are fees for transaction, cost and turnover. There are fees that investors pay to buy the fund, okay? There are fees that are loaded up for sales. There are fees that the brokerage charges. There are fees that are back-end fees, front-end fees, purchase fees, okay, transition fees, okay. There are so many fees in your 401ks that you don't even know about, and they all are summed up in maybe in a tax form. So I'm not saying a 401k is not good if you don't know what to do with your money. It's better than nothing, but when you look at it, hell, it ends up being the worst for you, because the longer your money sits there, the more money it costs you for keeping it there. Okay. And all a 401k is just a fancy way of saving your own money, right? Well, save your own money in your own bank and get the benefits and security of your own bank as well. And find someone that understands this stuff. Okay. I could talk all day about IUL. I could talk all day about a 401k. I could talk all day about money. Okay. And the reason why I know so much is because I talk to people that may not agree with what I say, but they understand what I'm doing and what I say, and they give me their insight. So the IUL is I think it is America's best kept secret, because it provides you with everything that you need as an American citizen, or person for that matter, when it comes to protecting your family and seeing best for their livelihood and their future. So you know, get with someone that understands this and have them explain it to you. And if you explain it to you right, you won't forget that you have it, like Marcus said, because it's something that you can't forget. Right, Isaac?
Yes, sir. Trevor, I wanted to mention, you know, Patrick mentioned some of the other benefits. Some of the other benefits, like, and I want, for those, since we're doing a education on here, you know, you can pull that, you got long-term care. As a matter of fact, after this meeting, I'm going to be doing a IUL for a family member whose primary concern, I mean, and she still doesn't fully understand the whole, the money aspect of it, but she's concerned about the long-term care. You know, you can use that to take care of yourself. Pull the money out for that. There's a woman, I always forget her name. Somebody's going to put it on here on the chat a moment ago, but she used all 8 of her IULs to take care of her after a stroke. So, you know, those are some really other important things that you can use the IUL for. But getting back to that 401k, at the beginning of the year, I had a client that had $1.2 million in her 401k. And she decided to just, I mean, we were sitting up trying to advise her. Thank you, Yvonne Mays. I always forget it. Yvonne Mays is the woman that used all 8 of her IULs to take care of her medical expenses. So thank you, T-Money, for helping me there. But she had $1.2 million in her 401k. And she just decided to leave it there. And I just thought that was the most ridiculous thing that I'd ever seen in my entire life, or heard in my entire life. You know, and I take responsibility for that, for not being able to communicate how beneficial this was for her. But when we sat, and I knew this, but when we sat down and broke out the 10%, which is being waived, but the 10% and the taxes, she's not getting 1.2 million.
Nope.
She's not getting that. I mean, so she was excited to see that 1.2 million, but when she takes that out, that's gone. All that match, just like Brother Winston said, that match is gone, man. I mean, whatever they matched for those 30 years that she was there, you know, she basically put in, she's getting her money that she put in. So, I mean, it's just a shame that you know, we just are so financially illiterate and just scared to, I think the real thing was she had never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it just scared her. You know, we do the things that our mama taught us to do and our daddy taught us to do. Get you a Gerber life plan. You know what I'm saying? Use that for your children. Get that Gerber life policy. Get you a term policy. Just do what's safe and do what we know. And we're scared to look at other options. You know, those options aren't for other people. You know, those options are for other people, not for me. But my question is, why not you? If it's good for somebody else, why not you? You should be able to want, if you like Larry said in his text, his chat there, his favorite topic is money. Why can't your favorite topic be money? You know, that ain't got to be the only topic, but that should be an important topic. And money, I agree, money does not make you happy, but as my wife said, it can make you comfortable. It may not make you happy, but in your misery, you could be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So who wants to be miserable and poor at the same time? Be comfortable and miserable if that's what you're gonna do. So
yeah, and the thing about these IULs too is this: when I show it to somebody and they love it, they always say, "Well, Trevor, you know, what does this thing cost?" And I say, it just costs a matter of what you can afford each month. You know, especially if you have a 401k. You know, I would never tell anyone to liquidate their 401k, but I can say, look, if you choose to liquidate it, all right, and you choose to move it over here, the taxes that you pay and liquidate, you can make that up in a few years, a couple of years on a compound interest. And then whatever you were paying per month on your 401k, okay, once your policy is approved and is good to go, divert those funds now over into your IUL, and it doesn't cost you anything because you don't see them when they come out. So it's not a matter of what does it cost you to open one up. The question is, what's it costing you not to open one up? A lot. And I want to get the word out because this is the vehicle that is used to grow your wealth, secure it, and transfer it without any tax implications. And then you have all the time on your hands to jump on Facebook calls and tell everybody what you're doing, like Larry doing, okay? Because you know, it's not a concept that is unattainable to anyone. It's a concept that people don't understand. And I go back to what Marcus said. How does someone forget? They forget because they haven't been shown the value of what they have. Okay, it's more than just an insurance policy. All right, it's a vehicle that gives you the utmost personal handling of your own money. Okay, while you're alive. Okay, and you can tell people what you want to do with it while you're alive, and you can do it yourself. And it's sad to me that most people don't even inquire about it because it seems complex, but it's not. Okay, if you can understand a 401k, IRA, yeah, you can understand IUL. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. You know, so you know, get with myself, get with Isaac, get with Patrick, get with Marcus on this call, and have us educate you because it's a simple concept that can literally change your family's life. And most people don't know that a life insurance policy to include IUL that does count towards your net worth, you know, and that's a good look on your portfolio, you know, to where your policy, your face value is $500,000, $1 million, whatever, that goes toward your net worth. So a lot of benefits to a policy of this caliber, and very, 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 very few negatives. Very, very few negatives. But I love it. I love it. I love it. Anything you want to say, Patrick, Edward, Marcus? Hey, Julia, long time no see, girl. Love, I see you out there, love.
Yeah, Trevor, I saw in the chat box that someone, I think Miss Sophia, had a question about good company. What's a good company for IULs? The easiest answer for that question is there are so many of them. You should get with someone that has access to more than just one.
I tell you what. I tell you what, Edward. Since you answered the question, probably send her your number and hook it up.
She's your guest, man.
Hook it up, bro.
I thought she was somebody's. I thought she was somebody else's guest, so I didn't want to step on any toes.
You answered the question, so provide a service, bro. Send her a message and take care of her because she needs you.
Come on.
I'm more than happy to do so.
She needs you.
I can definitely help you find the best company for IULs.
She needs you. She needs you. Marcus, my man.
Yeah, I was just saying, speaking on the you know, how great the IULs are, and you know, for people who wasting their money in susus and all of that, go ahead, take them. The difference, you got a very strong possibility to lose money dealing with them susus and whatnot. Jump on that IUL, ain't no loss.
You can do a susu.
Right. You know, yeah, exactly, for sure. So, you know, it was just yeah, it's just so complete. It's a great word for an IUL. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's, man, it just covered pretty much everything, for real. It's crazy. But
Patrick.
Like I said before, why not? The question is why not? Once you hear the information that you're getting from all of these individuals here, we all are in a learning place, and like Trevor and Isaac and Marcus is here. This is an open forum. We have any and everybody can talk about this to get the education. Miss Sophia, I know I sent you a message as well. Like I said, I got mine with Transamerica, but I also have written IULs that's with Nationwide as well. Now, how they perform the same way, or that's something that you have to get with one of the individuals here. I mean, Edward's going to help you out. He's a fantastic dude, and he's going to make sure you get in the right policy, right situation to help roll your money in the best way possible. So I think that everyone should, that's on this call today, should just take a look at it. Take one look at it so you can see where you at and how it can help you and how you can roll your money, see your potential. Right. And I'll just leave it with that. Right. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't get it myself. I got it from myself and my daughter. Right. And I know she's gonna be rich. If I don't get rich, I know she's gonna be rich off top.
Definitely. Isaac?
Yeah, so man, there's really not much else to say, man. I guess though, I bring up from another standpoint that I guess hasn't been discussed tonight. It's been discussed on previous calls, but you and I, Trevor, that have college-age children, you know, that 529 is a tax. You got to report that in income for colleges. So that reduces the amount of money that your child can receive if they even qualify financial aid. You know, my daughter was very blessed to get scholarships to school, but she still got financial aid that helped pay other bills and things of that nature. And a 529, obviously you have to report as income, so that reduces the amount of financial aid you can get for your child. But an IUL is not reported as income. Nope. So if you had $1 million for your child in there, you could say, man, I'm broke. I don't have a penny. And legally that's true. They cannot say anything, so your child can get all the financial aid that they want at college and still have that $1 million in the IUL and it not be a lie. You won't get in trouble for it because it does not get reported as income. So again, this is a fantastic tool. As you mentioned, it's got all of the 4 things that you need. That's another thing that you said, how else can you use it to attract people? Hey, it's got everything that you need. It's got life insurance. It's got growth. It's got the life insurance, but it's the other term. It's got protection. It's got compound interest. I mean, it's got everything that you need to kind of grow yourself. And of course, there are other instruments. Of course, fantastic one that everybody should know about.
Sure. And it also has better perks than your local banking institution.
That's right.
Sure.
you know the loan officer on a personal basis.
So about I'm answering the question privately, guys, because I'm being
Yeah, he's answering all my questions. I'm asking him a bunch of questions because I'm really interested in what you guys are doing. By the way, who was it? Was it Patrick? What's that button that you have on your shirt? I got to see that on your jacket.
This button is the financial literacy button.
Let me see it. Let me see it. Can I see it? Put it on the camera so I can see it.
Let me give you that. That's that goal right there.
There you go.
Dude, I like it, man. I want one. How do I get one? Whatever you guys do, if I get that button, I want it.
Okay. It comes in 3 different colors. It comes in blue, green, and red.
Well, there's only one color I want it in, right?
You want the
I'm
green? Let me
surprised
guess.
you have.
You
I'm
want the
surprised
green.
you have the blue one, but all right. All right, look at that. All right.
I got you, Edward. So yeah, we got 5 minutes left on the show. Okay, so I just want to say, you know, what we're doing here, guys, is we're educating you on a product that is beneficial to everyone, not just those that have money, okay, and not just those that have access to a lot of money or children. This is a vehicle that can protect your life in so many ways that you are not sure of yet, and the options that are available to you are outstanding. And we want you guys to open up your minds a little bit, you know, and look beyond what you're being told. Because what I love to do, I love to tell people why they're doing something. Okay, that way, if they do it, they know why they're doing it. Because too many of us are having our intelligence insulted, okay, for what we are being told, what we think we know, and for any of you that were ever approached in the past about an IUL and you did not get one, okay, that is a clear, that is a clear evidence of someone insulting your intelligence, okay, because if it was explained to you properly of what it was, you would already have one. It is the best thing that anyone that works should have. And so we're doing this on a weekly basis. You know, we're having these calls. Who knows what we'll get on. We'll have Larry on call and you say what you guys say, whatever, you know, but this is an open forum, all right? Because we have nothing to hide, okay? All we're trying to do is educate you, share with you what we know and what we do, and to hope that you jump on board and protect yourself and your family. Because it's not a complex situation, all right? I had a client this past week, did a policy for him, and he didn't tell his wife, okay? Told her, hey, I'm doing it, and this is what I did, and guess what? He had me tell her, okay? And so I called her up, explained to her what it was, and she loved it, and said, you know what, this is, I didn't know what I didn't know about this policy, you know, and I'm glad you showed me, you know, that the things that I didn't know about a policy, the things that I didn't know about my 401k that I did have. So, you know, I'm a real deal, and I'm sure, and so is Isaac, Patrick, and Marcus, everyone on here. And all we're going to do is educate you on what you can do, and it's still your choice. But if anyone can, I say it like this: if you have a bank account out there with Chase, Wells Fargo, or any small bank, you might as well get your IUL, because it's the same damn thing with bigger and better benefits. Bigger and better benefits. If you got Chase, get your IUL. You got Wells Fargo, get your IUL. You got a small bank, get your IUL, okay? Because it's the same thing with bigger and better benefits. Bigger and better benefits. So that's what I'm gonna leave you with on today's call. Got anything, Larry? I will ask you too.
Hey, you know, I you want me to speak? I'll speak. I'll speak anytime. You go, Trevor. I got a big mouth, right? Listen, guys, and I to say I have no vested interest is an understatement. I didn't even know what I was coming on to here. I just saw Trevor posted it. But look, I teach financial literacy. You guys look me up, you'll see. I don't want to get into that. But if you look, you'll see that I teach financial literacy, and I charge a lot of money to teach financial literacy. And I'm telling you what he tells you, everything he said. Well, you know, and I'm going to be honest about Trevor, and you guys already know it. He exaggerates a lot of shit, but the basis of what he's talking about is true. And if you follow these guys, because what I'm hearing, they're going to teach you stuff you'll never learned before. And by the way, who was it? Was it you, Isaac, who said that these guys need to learn stuff? Let me tell you something. These guys, after tonight, and I'm sure they know more, they could teach more shit about financial literacy than most of the people out there teaching financial literacy. So you don't dare put these guys down again, or I'll smack you.
Well, number one, I wasn't putting anybody down. And man, anytime you feel it foggy, man, jump. You know, it's all good. But you know, I wasn't putting anybody down. I'm simply saying people in general, man, need financial education. That's
right.
all I'm saying.
That's right. And
so
again,
I wasn't putting these guys down, man. These are my brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Boy,
yeah.
So yeah. So Tanisha, I think that's it, girl. Right? We on 7:30 on the dot.
Yeah.
So another good
just one last thing, Trevor. I do want to mention, we're changing up, not really the form, but kind of the promotion next week. So we're going to be doing some big titles coming up next week. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned for next week. It's going to be a new format. We're trying to go bigger and bolder and hotter, man. We got some things that are going on that's going 2021. We want to put 2020 in the past, man, and do things big for 2021. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm think next week is going to be hot, and it's going to be the start of some good stuff. It's going to be hot.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. So again, Patrick, thank you, sir. Marcus, thank you, sir. Isaac, thank you, sir. Larry, thank you, sir. Shout out to Tanisha, Delita, Angela, Sammy, all y'all. Love my girl. I love you, Julia. Keep it down. We're here again next Tuesday, 6:30. Okay, log on, learn some more stuff. It's gonna be hot. Okay. All right, guys, we are out. Tanisha, cut the feed, girl. Cut the feed.
Don't be scarce, Trevor. I'm missing you.